to cool the engines with today's Spotlight interview. Let's head this side and talk with some of our top competitors as they prepare for today's racing action. Today's pre-race spotlight interviews are brought to you by Coastal Auto Parts, operating 30 Napa Auto Parts stores across the state of Maine. Find a Coastal Auto Parts Napa near you at capnapa.com.
And we'll start things off with JT Thurlow in the number 9. The old family business is supporting this race, so we thank you and your family, JT, for making the Boss Hogg 150 all that it can be.
Absolutely, yeah. Me and my dad, we're really happy to do this. We've been preparing all year for this, and I think we got a long-run car. We just need to get in the time trial for the top 20. I think we can do it. We just drew Pill 42, so we're second to last going out. So,
What do you think is better, to be the first on the track or last, where there's all kinds of rubber?
I mean, out of a bunch of people that's done it, you want to be last, because then at least you know what you need to go for, Sometimes you might be slacking up a little too much in the beginning, and you didn't give enough, at least all right, this is what you need to be.
So you think where, you're nearly last, 42 out of 43 cars that are left here. You think that that's a better place for you to be to click off the fastest time?
I think so, get a little more rubber on the track as well, so, it's going to be hot, so it could get slippery, so it could bite me, but, hey, that's what the whole game is about, All
right, JT, good luck out there.
Thanks, man.
See ya. Matty Beers is feeling pretty confident after being on top of practice 1. Matty, was that just a fluke, or you think that car is going to last throughout the day?
Well, it felt pretty good with both sets of tires. The set I chose to be my qualifying set was a little bit quicker, felt a little bit more drivey, I guess. Hopefully I can back that up, start up front there.
What did you draw for time trial position?
I drew 24, right in the middle, so it should be good. You're not the first, but you're not the last. You can watch a few people see how they do it, This is first time for us.
Yeah, I was going to be my next question. You've never done anything like that?
No, this is actually the biggest race I've ever run in a pro stock. So it's all new to me. Last year we had some misfortune, got bent up a little bit. This year it seems to be going quite a bit better, I guess. Hopefully we can keep it in one piece, make it in good, be there at the end.
All right, Matty, I know you got a lot of fans out there, so have fun today and put on a show.
Thank you. Have a good day.
See ya. All right, Kelly Moore, you're feeling pretty confident, third in that last practice, but tell us about your whole family's day. What happened to Ryan's car, and how's your car?
Well, I don't know where to start. My car is brand new from last weekend, so I basically bought a brand new race car here, and we practiced with it Friday, and felt pretty confident on the car, and then we, the end of the day, I actually found something. We ended up taking it back to this race shop and fixing it, so we're a little better than we was. Ryan was faster than I was Friday, and I felt pretty confident on his car, and he went out there today and practiced well, and then ended up blowing the motor and backing it in the fence and taking the rear clip off it, so we haven't started the race, and we've only got one blown motor, one rear clip going, so I guess it's up to me now.
It's up to you, Kelly, yeah. Was there a little bit of a decision-making maybe to put Ryan in your car? Did you guys talk about that at all?
We didn't. I just know him.
Yeah, you're fully committed to your 47.
Yeah, I just know him. He wouldn't get in it at that point. He was pretty discouraged. That's a brand spanking. We just put that motor in. That motor hasn't got maybe 40 laps on it. We practiced Friday. That motor was brand new Friday. It wasn't a bottle cap motor either. It was a motor we'd used and ran probably 400 or 500 laps, and we rebuilt it just to come to this race, and it ended up breaking a rod, putting it right up to the side of the block. So unfortunate, but those things happen. We roll with the punches there.
All right, Kelly, we'll let you get back at it. Have a good day today.
I appreciate it.
See you, man. All right, so Shane Clark, did you have a late night or an early morning? You had to do some hard swapping?
We had a late night last night after the late model race. We took our ignition out of our late model and put it in super and ran today. And then we got up about 4:30, tried to get down here and try to finish up our super today. And we're just still struggling a little bit. It runs, that's half the battle, but just got to find some speed.
All right, sorry to hear about that. Third place running the late models last night, but struggling a little bit with the pro today.
Yeah, we don't run this car very often, and it's kind of a last-minute decision to come down here and try this. Yeah, just keep working at it, I guess. Make some swings, and hope for the best.
All right, have fun, Shane. Good luck.
Thank you.
Joe St. Clair, I don't get to see you as often as years prior. You're not here every week, so still haven't forgotten the place. Fourth in that last practice. Feeling pretty good?
Yeah, we didn't unload fast, that's for sure. But we worked on it. First set of practice tires weren't that great. Stagger just didn't work out. The race tires looked pretty good. That's when we went fourth fast there. So Garrett's fast. It's some guys that just unloaded fast, been fast all day. So I'm sure they'll be tough, but in years past, I've burnt it off going fast. And I'm trying to turn a new leaf on this year, and see if we can maintain and then race at the end.
What's the tire deal that's going on? I know we had Wayne Hellowell that wanted to come here, but couldn't find the right tires that he wanted. So is there a difficulty finding the stagger that you want?
Well, I think you have to play by the rules, I guess. On Thursday, they open tire sales. If you're worried about having the right tires, you should be here when tire sales open. Not the last guy, but I think there's plenty of tires to pick from. The only thing I wasn't sure about was the different left side compounds or different left side tires. So I went with what I know, what the track's always had. And see how it shakes out. I don't see any big difference on speeds. There's guys slow on SD1s, and there's guys fast on 35. So, and vice versa. So we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, Josh. I know you got a lot of fans out there, so put on the show.
All right, we'll try.
See you, man.
See you in
Just the man we wanted to find. Garrett Hall tops the speed charts at the end of it. There, you drew number 2 for time trials, and you seem like you're happy about that. We were talking about guys maybe wanting to be towards the back with more rubber on the track, but you would rather be closer to the front for getting on the track?
No, I'd rather be at the back, but I mean, it's one of those things. You just gotta deal with what you're given and just make the best out of it and run the car. Hopefully we got some time trials here and can click off a good lap and qualify in the top 20.
You must have unloaded pretty good. You topped practice 1 and again practice 3, so is that just a fluke, or is that car going to hold up today?
I mean, we'll see what happens, I guess. Car's a little bit snug, but just try to keep the car rolling, keep the balance in it, and just hope we have a good, clean race. Fenders on it.
Have you done time trials before, ever, like for any other races?
Yeah, I've done it before. When I first kind of started racing, I always was horrible at time trialing, but as I've gotten more experience with racing and time trialing, I've seen it pick it up a little bit better.
So you think it was a good idea to add that on to the Boss Hogg 150?
I mean, hopefully it'll make it a cleaner race. But I guess you never know, so we'll see what happens. It's one of those things.
All right, Garrett Hall, good luck in the 94.
Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you.
See you, man. All right, we got Nick Reno back in the 7 Pro Stock, so it's been a while since you've been behind the wheel, right? You've been focused on your boy?
Yeah, we did a full season last season with the mod, but this year I've come out a couple times with my own Pro Stock, and this week my father bought a Pro Stock and he wanted to try it, so here we are.
Okay, so you usually run 77, and this one is a new one for your dad, you say?
Correct, yeah, he bought this one for himself, but he hasn't done a race in it yet this year, so he kind of didn't want this to be the first one he jumped into, so I tested it out for him, and we'll see how it goes today. And not the fastest thing, but it seems to drive well, so we'll see how it works out.
You drew 4 for time trials. You looking forward to those?
I am not. I've never time trialed in my life, and I've never really paid attention to it, so I'm going to have to watch the first 3 guys go and see what they do.
You don't get a whole lot to watch. I mean, you definitely didn't want to be the first one, but at least you get to watch 3 people do it right in front of you.
Yeah, just suspense to see if you're going to fall off the top 20 there for a while.
All right, Nick Reno, we're wishing you some luck today in the 7.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Ben Tinker, tell us the story about this number 13 car.
It was a car that the Reynolds brothers bought off of Josh and Claire about 2 weeks ago. Got it ready, called me up, see if I wanted to drive it. Told them, of course, a big deal like the Boss Hogg, of course we want to be involved.
Is it going all right? It seemed like the beginning of the day you were having some ignition issues.
Yeah, a little bit of ignition, fuel issues, but I think we got that stuff ironed out. We're having trouble finding some speed with it. The car appears to be balanced and appears to drive good, but we're just having a little bit of trouble finding the speed. But we got Ford Dr. Feelgoods on it right now, and we'll go for time trials, see if we can lay a lap down.
Have you done time trials before in previous races ever?
Yeah, many times with the 350 Super. I think at least 3 or 4 times this year we've time trialed. So if there's any advantage to that mentally, I don't know, but I've done it and I've been there, so I feel like that's one bridge I've crossed. But like I say, we'll taper up and hopefully she run a lap.
Okay, Ben Tinker in the 13. Have fun out there.
Thank you.
See you, man. All right, Nick Hinckley in the 15, top in the Pro Stock field this season with 3 wins and the most recent one. So, Nick, you're also in the top 10 in that last practice round, so you must be feeling pretty confident.
Yeah, we haven't done a mock run yet, so some of those guys did, and I don't know, the tire compound, we're just a little bit off. We didn't run the new ones like everybody else. Well, I know at least half the people ahead of me did, so we'll see how it works out for the long run, but I guess qualifying is going to be a doozy.
What's going on with the tire situation? What was the reasoning? Was there a shortage in the regular tires that the track uses?
Yeah, they must continue it next year, but of course down south they've been having issues with them, so it's kind of hard to make that gamble knowing what we run on normally. So kind of just went with what we knew, and I guess we'll see how it goes.
So is that something that Hoosier has been pushing on the track, or the track's been wanting to make a change?
They did away with, they're no longer making the 30-35, 30-45, so we're going to be on the ST1s, ST2s next year, and yeah, so.
And not liking them so far?
I don't have long, but I just didn't want to take a gamble for this race, you know, we've been good on the 30-35, so it's just what we decided to go with.
Okay, Nick Hinckley, have fun out there.
Thank you.
And with that, a good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back home to Wiscasset Speedway as we are here for the annual Boss Hogg 150. How y'all doing this afternoon? You guys ready for a great afternoon of racing? We have got time trials ready to get started here. First and foremost, we want to thank Thurlow Car and Truck Service, John Thurlow and the whole family for being the title sponsor of the Boss Hogg 150. We've got, well, we had 44 cars to start the day. We've got 43 taking time trial this afternoon. Unfortunately, lost one of them in practice with a blown motor, but 43 cars will take time to try to get one of the first 20 spots in the Boss Hogg 150 today. We're sending out the first 20 cars to do a round of qualifying one at a time, and then we'll bring out the remaining 23 cars. They did a random draw at the drivers' meeting to determine qualifying order. We'll be starting 32 cars today in the main event. We've got the Pro Stocks. We've got the Portland Glass Strictly Streets. We have our friends from NEMA in the house, the NEMA Lights and NEMA Midgets. $30 Strictly Streets in the house.
Yeah, for the most recent weekly program, we had 30 street stocks as well that night, or maybe 29. But man, the street stocks this season have definitely not disappointed on a weekly basis. First half of the field is in the hot pits, and they are allotted 2 crew members each to maintain tire pressures and whatever else they need to do to prepare for their fastest 2 laps of their lives right now. Time trials about to commence with Dave Getchell in the 88 about to kick it off.
A little bit something different, as we said. The drivers have been asking to do time trials. It's been probably 20 years since we've done time trials here at Wiscasset Speedway. Race director Scott Chabuk is down there on the grid and ready to turn our first driver loose out on the track. They'll have 2 laps to put down their best effort. And as I said, the top 20 will go straight to the main event, although the top 10 time trialers will be subject to a redraw at driver introduction time. Those that time trial 21st or worse, they will go to a pair of heat races to try to get the next 8 positions filled. We've got 3 provisionals, and then we'll run a last chance 30-lap last chance qualifier, which will bring one last driver into the fray, and that driver will have a choice: either take $750 and park the car, or get a pair of tires and start last in the Boss Hogg 150. So first out onto the grid to time trial will be David Getchell in the number 88. He's one of our weekly competitors out of Cornville. David had a 5th place finish last night in our late model 30-lap race. He'll get one warm-up lap, and he'll take the green this time by.
Yeah, this time across the front stretch stripe, he's going to be up to speed, and this is when the laps start to count. Dave Getchell, sponsored by White Designs in the 88, is off and running. He gets 2 attempts, and they take the fastest out of your 2 laps to go towards your top 20 time trials.
You see his time up on the scoreboard. Slides it over there in turn 4, and some smoke. That first lap will be his best effort with a 15.441.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, Ken, that we got the times right up there on the backstretch pylon for the fans to see.
Next up on the track will be Garrett Hall out of Scarborough, the Norm's Used Cars and Black Point Motorsports, number 94. Garrett's best finish in the Boss Hogg 150 was a runner-up finish in 2018 to winner Mike Hopkins.
Ken, he's got a relatively long history and upsets and heartbreaks with this race, but we won't go into that. Garrett Hall really wants to check this event off his bucket list.
Yeah, he had more than his own free share of tough luck in this race in years past, and Garrett putting a 14.79 on his first lap. And $14.791 is his best lap.
Garrett Hall was fastest in practice 1 and 3. He's certainly looking confident today. 14.79 is the time to beat. And Ben Tinker is on track in the Knox machine and Reynolds Electric, number 13. $15 flat. 15.0 for Ben Tinker first time around. And it's a 14.97 second time around for Ben Tinker.
Next up to take time will be the number 7 of Nick Reno out of West Bath in the Reno's excavation machine. Nick, one of our weekly competitors, actually taking this year off though, the reigning 2023 modified champion here at Wiscasset. 3rd generation of the Reno family, and his son Reed is now running the family car in the modified class here. Nick Reno with a 14.97 last time. The track record, by the way, for Pro Stocks is 14.58. And Nick able to do a little bit better on his last lap, 14.862. That puts him second fastest behind Garrett Hall. Apologies on the scoreboard, not being able to show the current time, but we'll try to keep you up to date. Next one on the track is the number 4 of Connor Wenners out of Edgecombe, driving the Ace Well Service, an after-hours electric sponsored ride. One of our regular late model drivers and runs in the Pro Stocks from time to time. Ran the late model last night, as a matter of fact. Connor with a 15.139 last time by. First official lap for him is 15.002. And his second official lap right here. He'll jump up a little bit better, 14.953. That puts him third fastest out of the first 6 drivers.
Garrett Hall still tops the charts with a 14.79. Logan Melcher in the 41. The TNL Automotive Amsoil number 41 on track. TNL Automotive out of J. The Melcher family, big time overall supporters of Wiscasset Speedway with their local automotive business.
Logan coming into the weekend third in the Pro Stock points here at Wiscasset Speedway. A handful of podium finishes. Yeah, first lap for Logan's a good one, 14.727. And that will stand second lap just a little bit slower. So Logan's best lap of 14.727 will put him at the top of the chart, bumps Garrett Hall and the rest of them down. Remember, top 20 out of 43 time trialers will go straight to the main event. Next up is Shane Clark in the number 21, the Wellman Paving sponsored machine out of Winterport. Shane with a podium finish last night in the late model race.
Both of his cars do look very similar with graphics and paint schemes, but they are different. Shane Clark was up late last night swapping some parts over because he had ignition difficulties with this Pro Stock. So he ran the late model last night with a third place run. And a totally different car for the Pro Stocks right here. 14.876 for Shane Clark puts him fourth in line. Fourth at the moment with a 14.87 for Shane Clark. Next up is James Doucette in the 28 out of Skowhegan.
Yeah, James sponsored by, well, unsponsored. Brand new ride for him. Actually just picked it up this week. James, one of our late model competitors, has moved up to run a couple Pro Stock races this year. Ran his first race with his car last night. James with a 15.366 on his first lap. And a little bit better on the second one, 15.137. Locks him in behind Ben Tinker. Next up on the track is Ryan Kuhn in the number 72. Ryan, sponsored by Everett's Auto Parts and Cape Cod Central Railroad, coming up to race with us from East Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Ryan was the third place finisher in last year's Boss Hogg 150. First lap already puts him second on the grid with a 14.754. And crosses the stripe with a fast lap of 14.695. Ryan Kuhn is now at the top of the sheet.
Yeah, he's going to knock Logan Melcher back to second, and Garrett Hall is third fastest at the moment. Looks like car number 10, or car number 07, but this is the 10th car rolling out onto the raceway, Nick Calvert. Tenth car in line, Nick Calvert taking the green flag. And happy to have Nick Calvert back on a weekly basis with us. He missed the first half of the season trying to venture elsewhere, but he has come back to Wiscasset, where he calls home every Saturday. Nick Calvert in the Ward Water, number 07. And he is up to fourth, right behind Garrett Hall with the first lap, 14.84. Second attempt. Nick Calvert goes up to second, folks. Second fastest. Calvert bumps Logan Melcher and Garrett Hall backwards. Nick Calvert with a 14.69. Eleventh car rolls out onto the speedway. Andy Gilbert, number 17, another weekly competitor in the MDG logging. And JT Race Cars, number 17.
Yeah, Andy coming down from Jackman to race with us on a weekly basis. Gilbert's first lap is a 14.973. Does just a little bit better, 14.890 that second time for Andy Gilbert. That bumps him up to seventh fastest.
I know I know a lot of eyes are on this guy. We are happy to have Joey Dwyron in the house. Ken, do you by any chance happen to know how long it's been since he's raced here?
I believe it's been about 15 years since Joey Dwyron's turned some laps at this racetrack. I know he ran it back when it was under the hands of Doug White when the Pro All-Star Series ran here. But Joey proudly sporting the sponsorship of Norm's Used Cars on the side of that machine. Norm, Wiscasset Speedway Hall of Famer and longtime supporter and many of the racers here. First lap for Joey is a 14.894. Gonna have to turn it up here on this next lap.
My ears could be off, but it doesn't sound all that healthy. I guess that could just be bouncing off the chip, but it sounds a little bit different than what I'm used to for the 7.
Yeah, Joey able to get a 14.706 on his last lap. That bumps him up to third fastest. Next driver up on the track is Troy Patterson from Swanville in the Wellman Paving and Patterson Fuel sponsored number 5.
So, looking at the top of the chart, it is Ryan Kuhn, Nick Calvert, Joey Dwyron, Logan Melcher, and Garrett Hall, your top 5. Here comes Patterson for his first completed lap. Not too shabby for Troy Patterson. Looks like he's up into 6th, maybe 5th. 5th fastest. He bumps Garrett Hall out of line.
Troy Patterson locks himself in temporarily at 5th fastest with a 14.750. Next up on the track, flying the Ford colors as always, in the number 29, the Cushman competition, number 29 out of Wyndham, that's Austin Terrace. He has got that thing wound up tight and takes the green flag. First lap, Terrace does a 14.726, 4th fastest already on the first lap. And Terrace jumps up to the top of the sheet, 14.687.
I think a lot of people had their eyes open and ears open for that one, folks, and Austin Terrace did not disappoint. He's currently the fastest car on the track.
Next out to take time, the number 56, the Hancock Lumber and Brett Davis Real Estate sponsored car for Durham, Maine's Evan Beaulieu. Gets the green, and we'll see what he can throw down here on his first lap.
Right now, it's Austin Terrace, Ryan Kuhn, Nick Calvert, your fastest 3. $14.9 for Evan Beaulieu, $14.95 the first lap around, coming around to see the checkered for car number 56. Didn't do a whole lot better there. He's outside the top 10, I believe, Evan Beaulieu, right behind Andy Gilbert.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to be under 15 seconds to get into the top 20 of this field today. Next car on the track to take time. In the Bellboys Trucking and Complete Chassis Solutions, number 8, from Oxford, Massachusetts, it's Angelo Belcito. Finished 5th in last year's Boss Hogg 150. Angelo ran one tune-up race last weekend and finished 5th, but he really lost the handle coming out of turn 2 that time. He'll have to recover in lap 2 here.
Nearly last as we expected on that one, but he's going to try to redeem himself here with lap 2. Yeah, he certainly moved up the ladder some. I think that's 7th fastest for Angelo Belcito with a 14.861.
Next out on the track to take time. And that number 85, the Wallace Roofing sponsored number 85 out of Durham. That's Kenny Harrison. Kenny jumping into this ride about midway through the season. And this is actually with his long and storied career at Beach Ridge and Oxford and some here at Wiscasset. This is the first extended lap pro stock race Kenny's tried to attempt qualifying for. Longtime limited sportsman ace and former champion. Kenny's best lap, 15:008. Three more drivers in this group, and then we'll bring out the other half of the field to attempt time. Next on the track, in the Poles Automotive and Rocco's Pizza Bar, number 97 from Hudson, New Hampshire, it's Joey Polwarczyk.
Yeah, I'll leave that last name pronunciation to you. Everybody else just likes to call him Joey Pole.
Yeah, absolutely. Former Granite State Pro Stock champion, former Hudson champion. Hasn't run a whole lot of races up here at Wiscasset, but always does pretty well. First lap, 14.750. That puts him 7th fastest on the first lap. And there he will stay. That first lap, his best 14.750, nearly identical 14.752 on his second lap. So that leaves him 7th fastest right now. Next on the track, in the number 40, it's the Naughty 40, the Webster's Service Center, Pearson's Heating and Cooling. Number 40 for Dan McCaig Jr. Dan, the co-point leader, coming out of that last weekend with Nick Hinckley. They've been locked in a great battle all season long. Dan also running the street stock today, and he is the runaway point leader in that division. First lap for Dan McCaig of 14.822. Second lap, just a little bit better, 14.795. Puts him 9th fastest. Final driver here in the first group in the Bath Electrical Service and Gilman Electric Supply. Number 84 from Woolwich, it's Jamie Wright.
Yeah, he'll wrap up the first 20 cars. And then in the next group, we have 23 more cars coming out after Jamie Wright wraps this one up, coming around to complete his first timed lap.
Jamie was third place finisher in the 2022 Boss Hogg 150.
14.78 for the first lap around, coming around to see the checkered for Jamie Wright. His first lap was his fastest one, 14.78. Puts him 8th on the grid for Jamie Wright.
All right, first group is done. They're going to clear out the crew and bring out the next group. And while we have a chance to do that, we got a gentleman up here we got to talk to. Yeah, you, buddy. Up here in the booth with us here, we got John Thurlow from Thurlow's Car and Truck Service. And John, appreciate you putting your name on this big race weekend to start with, buddy.
Oh, I love racing. So my son JT will be coming out in the next group. And what I do for business is I do road service for big tractor and trailers that break down on the road, or if they need work done going at their place, and I just go right there and fix them and save them money instead of having them go to the dealership.
And what geographic area do you usually cover?
I can go anywhere from Kittery all the way up to Bangor.
Excellent.
You know.
Yep. And actually, was it LePage Bakeries that you said you're associated with?
Yep, associated with LePage Bakery. I do some of their work and cut back on doing that. And picked up a bunch of accounts in Portland and doing good with those and staying busy.
Now, let's jump over to the race side of things. You guys, Thurlow family's kind of relatively new with us. You guys came and raced with us middle of last year, and I know you had a good time. And it didn't take you guys too long to lock into this place as home. And you at the end of last season, you came to us and said, I want to sponsor that race.
Yeah, what I did, I wanted to sponsor a race, so I came to you, Ken, and Vanessa, and you were looking for a sponsor for this race, and I said, you know, I'll take the task on this because this track is good. We came here last year, and for one race, the 100 lapper, and we started 19th, finished 5th. So, and I was impressed the way the hospitality is here at this track.
Well, we appreciate you, and as I said, you and the family being here, not only racing with us, but putting your business name on one of our biggest 2 weekends of the season. So thank you very much.
And, you know, I got to thank also Lynn Spring out of New Gloucester for helping us and getting us here for this Boss Hogg. So they've helped out tremendously.
All right. Thank you very much, John.
Thank you.
All John's friends are out there. Thank you, John. Yeah. Group number 2 is rolling onto the speedway. These are the remaining 23 cars that'll try to take time for the Boss Hogg 150 today. And as I'll remind you again, top 20 here in time trials are locked into the main event, although the top 10 drivers will redraw at driver introduction time. Anybody that time trials 21st or worse will have to go on to the 2 heat races. A pair of 15-lap heat races will take the top 4 out of each of those races. That gets us to 28. Then we've got 3 provisionals. Those provisionals are Wiscasset weekly points. Then running order from the BIW qualifier we had here in June. And the third and final provisional will be last year's Boss Hogg 150, so that will get us up to 31 cars, and then the remainder will go into the Last Chance B Main. That's sponsored by Epoxy Floors North, and that'll be a 30-lapper, and the winner, as I said, will get the choice between taking $750 and parking the car or getting a pair of tires and starting last in the 150.
Ken, I might be mistaken, but I don't think we mentioned that there is a little bit of prize money up for grabs for the top 3 of this, brought to you by Davis Erector Group.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Davis Erector Group, Dave Davis and his whole crew stepping up to sponsor our time trial awards today. And top 3 time trialers will pocket some bonus money this afternoon. $300 for the best time, $200 for second, $100 for third. Kelly Moore, the Maine State and New England Auto Racing Hall of Famer, first to take time here in group number 2. This is a car that they actually put together down in North Carolina over the beginning of the week and brought it back up here. Wrecked in practice just a week ago in an unfortunate incident. First lap, Kelly Moore goes straight to the top of the sheet, 14.644. Little bit better, 14.617 is your new best time. They're getting closer.
21 cars have time trialed, and Kelly Moore tops them, knocking back Austin Terrace and Ryan Kuhn for your 3 fastest.
Remember that track record is 14.58 seconds. Jeremy Davis the next up to take time out of Tamworth, New Hampshire, in the Davis Chassis Works and T&D Cleaning Service. His personal best here was cast at a 7th place finish in the 2022 Boss Hogg 150. First lap from Jeremy mid-pack with a 14.851. And he will stay right there, just a little better, 14.836. Sandwiched between Dan McKay Jr. and Angelo Belcito in the running order. By the way, these time trials will also determine the starting field for the heat races as well, so a little more on the line for them later on this afternoon. Next car on the grid is the Knowles Industrial Service and SP Construction number 18 from East Baldwin. It's Miller Buzzell. Young man in the 18, third season behind the wheel of a pro stock. He's run some Granite State races as well. First lap is a 15:148. And that will remain his best lap. First lap was a 15:148. Next car out to take time in the Charlie's Family of Dealerships McCain Electric, number 11 out of Pittston. It's Matty Beers. Matty was fastest in second round of practice this afternoon.
$14.81 for Matty Beers. Here comes lap 2. Stays right there. His first lap was his fastest. 14.81 puts him right in the middle. Looks like about 10th right now for Matty Beers. We are past 20 cars and now looking at the bubble. Looks like Ben Tinker's on the bubble for the top 20. Make that Connor Wenners. Ben Tinker has been bumped out. Yeah, so these guys are all shooting to be in the top 20, so they don't have to put any extra time and effort and wear on their tires in qualifying. Top 20, and they're guaranteed to be in. And so once again, I think Ben Tinker is the 20th fastest car right now. Ben Tinker is the one on the bubble. All right, the Paul White Designs number 01, Stephen Jacoin.
Race control saying they did not have a transponder reading on that 01. It had it during practice, but I believe they'll get that rectified and get him back out here for an official try.
Yeah, so that one was all for nothing for Stephen Jacoin. He's going to go have to check out the transponder issue pit side, and we'll get him back out here. Dave Farrington in the DMD Racing number 23. So once again, top 20. Ben Tinker is on the bubble.
Farrington, the 2015 Coastal 200 winner here at Wiscasset. Also a former super late model champ at Oxford and Beechridge. 15.228 on the first, or actually this is, that was his warm-up lap. I get to catch back up here. 14.715 on his first lap. Ken Minot hasn't done time trials for a long time either, so. Second lap, 14.708. That puts Dave Farrington 7th fastest. check that, 6th fastest.
Ben Tinker is going to be knocked out of the top 20, and now it's Connor Wenners. Number 4, Connor Wenners, is in 20th position on the bubble. Charlie Buxton, number 98, out of Biddeford. Your top 5 fastest right now is Kelly Moore, Austin Terrace, Ryan Kuhn, Nick Calvert, and Joey Dwyron. Quite a pop coming out of turn 4. Charlie Buxton giving it everything he has. And it's not quite enough. 15.2 so far. Does a little better with a 14.9. And he goes right behind Connor Wenners. Charlie Buxton in 21st position. Connor Wenners stays in the hunt in the top 20. Ladies and gentlemen, next on track is the defending Boss Hogg 150 winner. I'll make that a couple years ago. That's Hot Rod, Mike Hopkins.
Yeah, Mike Hopkins has finished on the podium for the Boss Hogg 150 in the last 6 races. He's won 2 of them over that time in 2018 and 2022, but like I said, he has finished on the podium in this race the last 6 years.
Yeah, so Hopkins won this race 2 years ago. Unfortunately, we don't have the defending winner of this event, Max Cookson. Unfortunately, the 39 Max Cookson not returning to defend his title. Eighth fastest for Mike Hopkins.
Next on the track is the grandson of Boss Hogg himself. It is Josh St. Clair, 6-time Wiscasset track champion, and the man who holds that track record of 14.58 seconds. Don't mean to put too much pressure on him.
He's got a busy day today, too, just like Dan McKeag Jr. He's going to be running a Strictly Street as well.
Yeah, Lightning McQueen is back in the house. Josh with a 14.824 on his first lap. Josh hasn't been running full time here this season. Been running several pass races and Granite State races. 14.770 puts him 11th fastest. Andy Gilbert is the driver on the bubble right now.
Yeah, we recently just knocked out 2 cars. Evan Beaulieu and Connor Wenners, 21st and 22nd right now.
Next on the track to take time in the Richard Moody and Sons in Smokers Haven, number 44 out of Parsonsfield, it's Trevor Sanborn. He is the 2020 Boss Hogg 150 champion. Sanborn's first lap, 14.827. A little bit of cloud cover coming in now for the drivers. He'll jump up a little bit. 14.767 is his best lap. That will put Shane Clark on the bubble, bumps Andy Gilbert out of the top 20. Shane Clark now the driver on the bubble.
Kelly Moore still stays on top, followed by Austin Terrace, Ryan Kuhn, Nick Calvert, and Joey Dwyron, the fastest 5. Dave Farrington is 6th fastest. And next is Logan Melcher, Mike Hopkins, Troy Patterson, and Joey Pohl make up your fastest 10.
Next on the track, in the Beckett's Towing and LNS Concrete, number 28 for Will Collins out of Waldoboro. Will is our reigning late model champion. Has jumped up to Pro Stock this season and threw a throwback scheme on that one, a number in honor of his dad, Bill Collins, who used to run back here in the day.
Yeah, Will was attempting a full season in the late models this year, but he missed last night's race, his first miss in the late model this season after a massive wreck 2 weeks ago, and has unofficially called it quits for the late model this year and now putting all focus on the Pro Stock.
Next on the grid, in the 17A MA out of Raleigh, Massachusetts, it's the outlaw, Eddie McDonald. Eddie's first lap, 14.979. Eddie Mack not able to get into the top 20. 14.949 is his best.
And we did have a small hiccup on Will Collins' time, but we did get an official reading, 14.99 for Will Collins. Puts him right about there with Eddie McDonald, both of them in the 14.9 range, outside the top 20.
Yeah, your bubble car still the 21 of Shane Clark. Next up to take time in the home auto group and Randy Keach Auto, number 01 out of Chesterville, it's Jet Decker. Jet was the runner-up in last year's Coastal 200 in late model competition. He's a former four-cylinder pro champion here just 3 years ago. (14.876), Jet Decker's first lap actually matches the best lap from Shane Clark. And he will bump Clark out of the top 20. Decker with a 14.865.
Yeah, right on the bubble. Jet Decker, 20th fastest at the moment. His second lap was a little faster.
Next on the track, in the number 38, sponsored by Mainly Karting and Roby Builders out of Wyndham, it's Garrett Lamb. Garrett, the 2022 Pass Modified champion, hasn't run here very much, but finished on the podium in the 2021 Strictly Shootout.
Not enough to get in the top 20 right now. He's about 23rd fastest for Garrett Lamb. One more chance to do it, looking for that checkered.
He does jump up into the top 20, 14.792 on Garrett's second lap. That will bump Shane Clark out of line. Jet Decker holding the bump spot. Just double check. Next up on the track, one of the last entrants over the past couple days. Driving the Trudell Property Management and Harpswell Marine Builders, number 04 out of Cundy's Harbor, it is TJ Watson. TJ, a former winner of the Coastal 200 here.
That top 5 has stayed untouched for the second half here. Kelly Moore, Austin Terrace, Ryan Kuhn, Nick Calvert, and Joey Dwyer in your fastest 5 still. TJ Watson outside the top 20. Right about 26th, 27th with that first circuit around. Doesn't do any better with lap 2. TJ Watson with a 14.963, about 26th or 27th on the grid.
Winding down to the final handful of cars, someone looking to break into that top 20 at least. Maybe perhaps even to the top 5. As Nick said, they've been locked in there for a while. Next up in the Colebrook Trailers and Nickerson Yard Maintenance, number 81 out of Skowhegan, it is Brian Lancaster. Little slip from Lancaster late back into gas in turn 2.
Yeah, got into the curb a little bit in the middle of 1 and 2. And drifting up high out of turn 4. He's got his hands full with that Colebrook Trailers number 81. Way outside the top 20 right now. Looking for a better lap 2 right now.
A little bit better, but not quite enough to get him in the top 20. He got back under 15 seconds with a 14.941.
Brian Lancaster will be about 24th, 25th right now with that time. Ryan Littlefield out of Dayton in the 29L.
Ryan in the Littlefield Excavation and Paving and Black Magic Seal Coating, sponsored number 29. Ran here in the Boss Hogg last year. Finished 20th in the race last season. First lap, he gets himself under the top 20, 14.841. That bumps Nick Reno out. Littlefield will stay right there. His first lap was his best. Second one was a 14.847. So Littlefield just sneaks in. That puts, I believe, Angelo Belcito on the bubble.
The most recent Pro Stock winner. And 3 feature wins this season in the 15. Nick Hinckley.
Yeah, Nick, the co-point leader here in the weekly racing at Wiscasset Speedway with 3 feature wins and the Ideal Portable Toilet, sponsor number 15. Angelo Belcito, the number 8, is the driver on the bubble right now. Not quite there yet. 14.867 is Hinckley's first lap. Nick Hinckley not able to crack the top 20. That first lap was his best. Second lap, 15.016. So Hinckley has to hang his hat on that 14.867. Does not get him into the top 20. He's going to have to race his way in. Next on the grid in the number 18. That is the Strictly Roofing and TJ's Place, sponsored number 18 for Kevin Douglas out of Sydney. Douglas, a 4-time winner here at Wiscasset this season on a part-time schedule. Kevin was the 2021 winner of the Boss Hogg 150, and he's already got himself 6th fastest on his first lap. 14.706. Second lap bumps him up one more. Douglas with a 14.698. That makes him 5th fastest.
Hey, we finally got a new face in the top 5. So it is Kelly Moore, Austin Terrace, Ryan Kuhn, Nick Calvert, and Kevin Douglas, your fast 5.
Yeah, that bumps Angelo Belcito off the top 20. Ryan Littlefield now the driver on the bubble.
And another reminder, there is a little bit of prize money up for grabs, brought to you by Davis Erector Group. $300 to the fastest car, which is currently being held down by Kelly Moore. $200 for second and $100 for third.
Next on the grid is the statewide foam coatings number 32 out of Brownville for Nick Jenkins. Nick is the 2017 Boss Hogg 150 champion.
Yeah, Ken, I think that was one of those heartbreak years for Kevin Hall.
Yeah, Garrett Hall doesn't want to be reminded about 2017, but Jenkins' best lap is a 14.878, not enough to crack the top 20.
Right about 25th fastest for Nick Jenkins.
Next on the track is the Window World of Made in New Hampshire and Winter Pit Products number 81 out of Deerfield, New Hampshire for Dan Winter. Been a while, a few years since Dan's turned some competitive laps here at Wiscasset. Dan's business these days, building amazing pit boxes and war wagons for these race teams.
And we're utilizing the hot pits today and probably going to see some of them.
Dan Winter, 15.219 on his first lap. And a little bit better with a 15.006, but not enough to get him in the top 20. Next on the track, in the John Thurlow Incorporated and Linden Spring Service, number 9 out of Durham, this is JT Thurlow.
Yeah, we got John Thurlow in the booth. John, you know that guy?
Oh yeah, I know him well.
Green flag is out for JT. A regular weekly competitor every Saturday at Wiscasset Speedway. One more car in the hot pits after him. Car 42 on track now. Silas Ripley will fill the time trials with the 43rd car. And his second lap is a 10th faster, 14.9 for JT Thurlow, but he's going to be outside the top 20 by about 8 or 9 spots. JT Thurlow out of Durham, 14.9 for the 9 car. The 9 followed by the 09. Silas Ripley coming off of an impressive 4th place finish in the Oxford 250. A lot of people have their eyes on this young cat. Just turned 15 years old. Silas Ripley is unofficially going to be the last qualifier, but once again, we did have some transponder issues on a driver or two.
Ripley in the Manley Concrete Pumping number 09. Picked up his first career modified win here at Wiscasset 4 weeks ago. Last year's late model rookie of the year here at Wiscasset as well. First lap 14.867. Second lap, good enough to get him into the top 20. That's 14.781. And that bumps Ryan Littlefield out. And that'll do it for time trials, ladies and gentlemen. Your top 20, Kelly Moore, Austin Terrace, Ryan Kuhn, Nick Calvert, Kevin Douglas, Joey Dwyron, Dave Farrington, Logan Melcher, Mike Hopkins. Just looking for where that top 10 is. Troy Patterson is 10th fastest, so those top 10 will be subject to a redraw at driver intros. After that, we've got Joey Powarczyk, 11th, Trevor Sanborn, then Josh St. Clair, Jamie Wright, Silas Ripley, Garrett Hall, Garrett Lamb, Dan McCaig Jr., Matty Beers, and Jeremy Davis, your 20th qualifier via the time trials.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ryan Littlefield was the last car to get bumped out in 21st position. So, Ken, you said that time trials give you starting spots for the heat races. So does that mean that Littlefield will be pole in heat 1?
That is correct. Yep, Ryan Littlefield will be pole in heat number 1. Angelo Belcito will get the pole in heat number 2. 15 laps on qualifier number 1.
Wow, these heat races are going to be stacked. 12 cars and only 4 advance. And TJ Watson immediately comes up out of line. Kenny Harrison almost fills the middle, going 3 wide, but wisely backs out of it. TJ Watson gets a good run down the back stretch and gets down in the inside. Back to the front, it is double file for the first 6 spots. Littlefield and Reno, nobody giving an inch. Nick Hinckley and Nick Jenkins, great uptight there as well. They are your top 4, and Andy Gilbert is on the outside looking in. Nick Reno arcs the front stretch way high, and Littlefield at the last minute, halfway down the front stretch, looked like he wanted to move up there as well if Nick was going to give him that room. They are slamming. Out of turn 4, Ryan Littlefield and Nick Reno slamming doors down the front stretch. Still door handle to door handle. We've got tire rubbing down the back stretch with Gilbert and Watson for 6th and 7th. The right front nose is way pushed in on the 04 of TJ Watson. Andy Gilbert holds on to it but loses 1 spot. Back to 6th he goes from that incident. Nick Reno has got to be getting frustrated, folks. He tried his best to pass Littlefield as he knew he needed to get to the bottom as quickly as possible, but it is starting a slow descent right now. Nick Hinckley's going to get by. Nick Jenkins is going to be uptight on the back bumper of Hinckley as well, and he gets to the inside of Reno, but it is a ways back to the 5th place car of Brian Lancaster, so if Reno has to pull in line in 4th, he'll still be in the show. These are quick ones, folks, halfway through the 15-lapper. But the fast cars should be already at the front of these races because they started from their time trial times. So that starting procedure kind of eliminated some of that stuff that we've seen in the past of random draws where fast cars start at last. You have a lot of incidents where the fast cars are trying to rush their way through the field and some accidents happen. Miller Buzzell's going to call it quits here with 5 to go. Make that 4 to go now as Hinckley and Littlefield are leading on each other now. Nick Hinckley could have settled for 2nd and been guaranteed in the show, but he did not want to stop right there. He's going for the lead, and he does it. Ryan Littlefield across the nose of Nick Jenkins.
close quarters there as Jenkins continues to look to the inside with 2 laps to go. Hinckley's pulling away. A tap by Jenkins to the back of Ryan Littlefield. Littlefield sideways out of 4 and hangs on to it. He loses the spot. Nick Jenkins moves up to second, and they are back at it with Littlefield and Reno now. The 2 cars that battled for the first half are now almost bumper to bumper again. Littlefield and Reno for 3rd and 4th. They look like they'll hold on to it at the checkers. Consolation round number 1 is complete. Nick Hinckley, Nick Jenkins, Ryan Littlefield, and Nick Reno. Lots of Nicks in that one make it in the show unofficially. Those are your top 4. The rest of them from 5th on back will go to the LCQ. There is no Consi number 3. This is the rest of them that were outside the top 20 from time trials. 15 laps. Angelo Belcito and Jet Decker gonna see the green flag and set the pace this time. And it doesn't get any closer than that. Through 1 and 2, they are dead even, but Jet Decker gets a nice slingshot down the backstretch. Belcito keeping him honest with a nose to the inside, but it looks like Jet Decker is so close to clearing there. Man, oh man, close quarters. Jet Decker trying to clear Belcito to get to the bottom and solidify his qualifying position. Shane Clark and Evan Bollier take up the top 4. And we got a huge slam from the leaders. Belcito gets into the left door of Jet Decker. Sideways they were, but we are gathered back up and still a dead even match. Shane Clark is right up tight with the top 2. Evan Bollier losing ground on the top 3 a little bit. He might fall victim to JT Thurlow making up the top 5. Fender to fender, door handle to door handle. Belcito and Jet Decker so evenly matched, nobody can commit to this top position. They are leaning on each other. Wow. Lots of slamming going on between the top 2. And Shane Clark has a bird's eye view of the show. Jet Decker inching so close to clearing Belcito. He's going to do it down the backstretch, and there he goes to the bottom. Jet Decker solidifies the top spot on lap 7. Look at the number 9. He is bumping on the back bumper of Bollier for the qualifying spot. Bollier on the bubble. We are halfway. JT Thurlow is now in the top 4. Bollier on the outside looking in, and Eddie McDonald right there ready to pounce in the 17. This time is 10 laps complete, 5 to go for Jet Decker as he puts a car length or 2 on second place. Jet Decker, Angelo Belcito, Shane Clark, and JT Thurlow. They are running away from 5th on back. Now it's between Evan Bollier and Eddie McDonald for 5th place. Eddie McDonald shakes Bollier up out of line. He gets the 17 underneath, and Eddie McDonald is now going to crack the top 5 going into turn 3. JT Thurlow could settle into 4th and be guaranteed in the show, but he doesn't look like he's done yet. He is uptight and putting the pressure on Shane Clark for 3rd place. Giving him a little tap there. 2 to go. Angelo Belcito looks like he's got a second wind here in the late running. He's closing the gap back up on Jet Decker now, looking at that white flag. Thurlow to the top side of Shane Clark. we go. White flag, and JT Thurlow is looking for a top 3 position. This one looks to be all Jet Decker with his eyes on the checkered flag. Jet Decker takes consolation number 2. Angelo Belcito is in. JT Thurlow in the John Thurlow Incorporated number 9 races his way into the show. With a last lap pass into 3rd, Shane Clark is the 4th place finisher in the show. And everybody behind Clark has to go to the LCQ, including Eddie McDonald and the rest of them behind him.
All right, folks, that's it for our qualifying, except we do have the B main coming up a little bit later to get one more spot in the Boss Hogg 150. It is break time, a chance for you to get up and stretch for a moment.
If you are a Subaru enthusiast and you haven't shopped Norm's Used Cars in Wiscasset, you are missing out. Norm's Used Cars specializes in previously enjoyed late-model, low-mileage Subarus, all hand-picked and meticulously gone over to be like new to you. And with over 100 Subarus on the lot starting at $49.95, they have a great selection too. Experience the difference at Norm's Used Cars.
That's not the norm. That's Norm's Used Cars.
If you've been injured in an accident, contact the law offices of Joe Bornstein today. Talk to us confidentially and free. Find out why we are Maine's most recognized personal injury law firm. Over 25,000 victories for Maine families and over $500 million collected for injured Mainers. Get the help you need and the justice you deserve. Dial 207-CALL-JOE. There's never a fee unless you win. Call Joe today and get the Bornstein advantage.
We are your voice. We are your helping hand. We are the Hometown Foundation. We speak up for animals who have been neglected. We support those who keep communities safe. We shatter stereotypes for the disabled. We instill hope in those battling life-threatening illness. We honor and remember our veterans. The Hometown Foundation. Community-focused. Community-driven. Call or go online to see how you can be the help your community's waiting for.
Time to consider your future begins today. Entry-level trade positions now starting at $23.50 an hour and up to $28.19 an hour with experience. Same incredible benefits and career growth opportunities from high school graduation to an exciting career change. This is your time.
Join the legacy. B-I-W.
Here for our last chance B main. Mary Morris heads in, and there's the green flag. We are off and running. Charlie Buxton with a good run on the outside of Brian Lancaster will take the lead on the first lap. Leaves the outside open to the 81 of Dan Whitmer. Connor Wenners under the deck lid of the 81. Nearly got Lancaster's rear tires off the ground. Lancaster has settled it into second, being chased by Wenners. TJ Watson in the 04 holds down fourth. Able to get a fender underneath the 4, but Wenners now starting to make some progress on the outside. Lancaster was taking up a little too much room. Around goes Winter. Some cars sliding up. Not sure if anybody made contact with the wall. Buzzle is up there. Winter and Kenny Harrison. Charlie Buxton back in charge. Watson had a good run in behind Lancaster, and they made some contact in turn 2. Eddie McDonald making progress up on the back of the field. The 17, the Outlaw starting to make some way in that red number 17. racing with Lancaster now for third. Brian Lancaster trying to hang tough on the outside. TJ Watson kind of boxed in there in the 0-4, waiting to see who to follow. Now that 81 starting to come to life. He was fading back a little bit. Now holding an edge over McDonald on the outside. Charlie Buxton trying to get in the 150 again for the second straight year. McDonald nearly had Lancaster cleared. Again, TJ Watson really nowhere to go in the 0-4. He runs in fifth right now. Eddie Mack finally able to secure that third spot for himself. Leaves Lancaster and Watson to go after it for fourth. Is everybody chasing that number 99? Right now, top three running nearly identical times. Buxton just a tenth faster than the two cars behind him. Again, Buxton a tenth faster. Starting to separate himself from the second place car of Winters and the 17 of McDonald. This time by to be halfway, 15 down, 15 to go. McDonald gonna have to make something happen, and he gets into Winters. Connor with a good save, holds on to third, but Eddie Mack now trying to chase down the leader. Finds himself 1.3 seconds behind leader Charlie Buxton. And there goes TJ Watson around. And it's going to kick up some dirt down there in turn 3. And that is no doubt the caution that Eddie Mack was waiting for.
Hard-fought battle for third place as Connor Winters tapped the inside apron. It loosened the car up, and he accidentally got up into TJ Watson. Down the backstretch, Watson did all he could to keep it off the backstretch wall. Charlie Buxton did not want to see that yellow. He was all by himself. Eddie Mack wasn't making any progress to chase him down, but here we go with them starting side by side, looking for that green flag now. We have got an incident at the top of turn 3. TJ Watson and Connor Winters. We were looking for the green flag, but those guys weren't done messing around with each other. Who's on Team Charlie Buxton? And who's on Team Eddie Mack? Who's on Team Ben Tinker? Let's go racing. Maybe Dan Winter has something for these guys. Dan Winter quickly disposes of Ben Tinker. Eddie Mack clears Charlie Buxton. Eddie McDonald, the outlaw, leads lap 17. Charlie Buxton certainly did not want that caution. Eddie McDonald is pulling away. 1 car length gap between him and Buxton, who has led the first half. Buxton not getting too far out of sight. The 99 keeping Eddie Mack at bay, but can't surmount a challenge as of yet. Dan Winter certainly has a solid piece, but they are pulling away ever so slowly. Both hands in the air, 10 laps to go for the outlaw. Charlie Buxton puts the 99 just about up tight on the back bumper once again on Eddie McDonald. This one is not over yet. 9 to go. A good run off of turn 2. Charlie Buxton still has a stout piece up tight on the rear bumper of Eddie McDonald. Eddie McDonald looks to be fading a little bit. 7 laps to go in the Epoxy Floors North LCQ. Eddie McDonald dropping the pace by 2/10. Eddie McDonald was able to click off a 15.3 early on, but now he's down to 15.6, dropping 3/10 for the 17 car now. Charlie Buxton right there, 4.5 laps to go. They just got all 5 fingers in the air last time around. 4 to go for the outlaw, and he gets shaken up out of 4.
Buxton jumps to the outside. Dan Winter in the picture now. McDonald trying to hold on. They're going to go side by side with 2 laps to go. Buxton outside, McDonald low side, and Winter right on their heels. Just a little bit of a slip. Buxton's going to reload and try it one more time. White flag is ready to fly. Final time through 3 and 4. Checkered is ready to wave. Eddie McDonald takes the last chance qualifier. Eddie Mack takes the last chance qualifier over Charlie Buxton. A great race between those two. Dan Winter made it close as well, but ran out of time. right, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to meet our drivers in today's Boss Hogg 150? Let's do this. First of all, we got to meet our members of our receiving line down here, some important folks down there. First of all, with Penny Charette, our leader of the Kids Club, we want to welcome our junior official for today, Mr. Jordan Moody. Next to him, we have tonight's race sponsor, the man who put his name on this race, the Thurlow Incorporated, Thurlow Car and Truck Service, Mr. John Thurlow. From Racing with Jesus Ministries, we have Mr. Brian Roy. Our chief starter and flagman is Dave Sturgis. And we couldn't do this without these two folks there at the end of the line. Ladies and gentlemen, nice round of applause for Richard and Vanessa Jordan. And now for our drivers. Starting in the 32nd position, driving the on-level construction and Lemieux Builders, number 17 MA from Raleigh, Massachusetts, it's the outlaw, Eddie McDonald. Getting in via one of the provisionals, starting 31st in the Hancock Lumber and Brett Davis Real Estate, number 56 out of Durham. Welcome, Evan Beaulieu. Another provisional starter today is in the 01X, starting 30th today in the HF Motorsports and Paul White Company 01X out of Windsor. Welcome, Stephen Chicoine. Starting in the 29th position, getting the provisional for Wiscasset Weekly competitors in the MDG Logging, number 17 out of Jackman. Welcome, Andy Gilbert. To the 28th starting driver in car number 21, the Wellman Paving sponsored ride out of Winterport. Welcome, Shane Clark. Starting 27th, driving the Reno's Excavation number 7 from West Bath. Welcome, Nick Reno. Starting in 26th and carrying tonight's race sponsors on his car as well, the John Thurlow Incorporated and Lynn Spring Service number 9 from Durham. Welcome, JT Thurlow. Starting 25th is the Littlefield Excavation and Paving and Black Magic Seal Coating, number 29L. From Dayton, welcome Ryan Littlefield. Starting in the 24th position, he finished 5th in this race last year in the Bellboys Trucking and Complete Chassis Solutions, number 8. From Oxford, Massachusetts, welcome Angelo Belcito. Starting 23rd is the 2017 winner of this race in the statewide foam coatings, number 32 from Brownville. Welcome, Nick Jenkins. Starting 22nd in the Home Auto Group and Randy Keach Auto, sponsor number 01 from Chesterville. Welcome, Jet Decker. Four-time Wiscasset Speedway champion starts in the 21st position. Driving the Ideal Portable Toilets, number 15 from Wiscasset. Welcome, Nick Hinckley. And to the top 20, starting in the 20th position. Driving the Davis Chassis Works and TD Cleaning Service, number 09 from Tamworth, New Hampshire. Welcome, Jeremy Davis. Starting 19th is the Charlie's Family of Dealerships and McCain Electric, sponsored number 11 from Pittston. Welcome, Matty Beers. Wiscasset's June Driver of the Month will start in the 18th position. He drives the Webster Service Center and Pearson Heating and Cooling, number 40 from Gorham. Welcome, Dan McCaig Jr. In the 17th starting position, he drives the Mainly Karting and Roby Builders, number 38 from Wyndham. Welcome, Garrett Lamb. Starting 16th is car number 94, the Norms Used Cars and Black Point Motorsports ride for Garrett Hall out of Scarborough. This young driver's getting people's attention already. He is in the Mainly Concrete Pumping, number 09. Starting 15th tonight from Warren, welcome Silas Ripley. To row number 7, starting outside in 14th. In the Bath Electrical Services and Gilman Electric Supply, number 84 from Woolwich, welcome Jamie Wright. Starting in the 13th position is the man who his grandfather this race is named after. He is a former winner of the Coastal 200 as well. He drives the Dave's World and M&S Painting, number 14 from Liberty. Welcome Josh St. Clair. To row number 6 on the outside, starting in 12th, is the 2020 winner of the Boss Hogg 150. He drives the Richard Moody & Sons and Smokers Haven, number 44 from Parsonsfield. Welcome Trevor Sanborn. Starting in the 11th position is the Wellman Paving and Patterson Fuel, number 5 out of Swanville. Welcome Troy Patterson. And now to the top 10. After we introduce them, they are going to stay in victory lane and redraw for a starting position. In the 10th qualifier is in the Poles Automotive and Rocco's Pizza Bar, number 97 from Hudson, New Hampshire. Welcome Joey Polwarczyk. This next driver has finished on the podium of the Boss Hogg the last 6 times this race has been run. He is a 2-time winner in the Colebrook Trailer and Equipment and Thayer Competition Engines, number 15 from Herman. It's Hot Rod Mike Hopkins. Starting in the 8th position, it drives the T&L Automotive and Don Frechette, number 41. From Fayette, welcome Logan Melcher. To the 7th starting position is the Norms Used Cars and Renegade Performance Lubricants, number 23. From Jay, welcome Dave Farrington Jr. To row number 3 on the outside, well, he was the 6th fastest qualifier. We'll have to see if he stays there or not. The 6th fastest qualifier is in the Norms Used Cars, number 73 out of Berwick. Welcome, Joey Dwyron. Starting, qualifying 5th fastest is the Strictly Roofing and TJ's Place, number 18 from Sydney. Welcome, Kevin Douglas. 4th fastest qualifier is in the Ward Water and Mud City Dive Service, number 07 from Standish. Welcome, Nick Calvert. Third fastest qualifier is in the Everett's Auto Parts and Cape Cod Central Railroad, number 72. He finished 3rd in this race last year from East Bridgewater, Mass. Welcome, Ryan Kuhn. And the top 2 qualifiers. 2nd fastest in qualifying in the Cushman Competition Ford, number 29 out of Wyndham. Welcome, Austin Terrace. And your fastest qualifiers, a Maine Motorsports Hall of Famer and New England Motorsports Hall of Famer in the R.C. Moore Trucking and Epoxy Floors North, number 47 from Scarborough, it's Kelly Moore. And Kelly will be presented with the Fast Time Trialer Award. Thank you to Steve Perry for doing our awards, as I mentioned. And we've got our top 10 down there. And in honor of the man that this race is named after, Dave St. Clair, Boss Hogg. And if you know Boss Hogg, you know he even used to race with a stogie in his mouth back in the day. So we've got 10 numbered cigars in the Smiley Face Cup tonight. Nick, take it away.
Where do you want me to start? With number 10 or number 1?
Let's start with the number 1 qualifier,
Number 1.
Kelly Moore.
Kelly Moore, pick out a cigar. Number 4.
Kelly gets position number 4. Apologize for the music.
Austin Terrace, 8th. Going from 2nd to 8th. Ryan Kuhn, 7th. Nick Calvert. Nick Calvert's going to be on the pole. Kevin Douglas starts 5th. He didn't change one bit, starts 5th. Yeah. Joey Dwyron starts 6th. Dave Farrington starts 9th. Logan Melcher starts outside pole. Mike Hopkins starts 3rd. And Joey Pole right where he was, 10th. All right. Ken, you want me to let them keep those?
Yes, they can keep them. Thank you guys very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, we ask that you all please rise a fable. Direct your attention to the flag in the middle of the infield. Remove your hats, please. As Brian Roy from Racing with Jesus Ministries will offer our invocation.
Father God, we thank you for your presence here today. We thank you for a beautiful day and weather mercies from you. We thank you for Richard and Vanessa, who not only appreciate everyone here, but run this track to honor you. We thank you for the emergency workers who have already proven why they're here today, to keep all these drivers and crews safe. Thank you for the officials. And Lord, we ask that you bless each driver with protection and safety as they go around this track tonight. In Christ's name, amen.
Drivers, prepare your cars for competition. Drivers are ready. Are you guys ready? Nick, take it away.
And for the most famous words in motorsports, take it away, Jordan.
Drivers, start your engine!
The late day sun is down, the lights are on. And folks, I'm gonna ask one more favor of you. If you've got a little more energy in your legs, get back up on your feet one more time. Salute our drivers as they salute you. When they see you guys standing up, they know you're ready for a race. 150 laps in the Boss Hogg 150 coming at you next. $15,000 to win out of a purse over 40 grand. Couple of Wiscasset weekly racers up on the front row. Couple of Wiscasset weekly racers up on the front row. And some heavy hitters right there with them. Nick Calvert and Logan Melcher will get this one underway. Lights are off on the pace car. We are set to go racing. Dave Sturgis up on the flag stand, ready to turn him loose. Calvert and Melcher. Here they come. The Boss Hogg 150 is off and running. Logan Melcher gets a good jump on the outside. Pulls down in front of Nick Calvert, and the 41 will lead him first time around. Already stepping away from that lead pack is Melcher in the 41. He wants to be the jackrabbit in this one. Kelly Moore up now to second. Calvert third. He's got Hawkins behind him and Dwyron in the 7. Those are a couple of guys who know to save their tires for the full 150. This is just a 4-tire race. The only way they can change one is if they get a flat. Side by side for the 5th position as Austin Terrace working the outside of Mike Hawkins and now outside of Joey Dwyron. The 29 car is on the move up on the high side. Terrace is up in the top 5. Terrace already up to challenge Calvert for 3rd. And he quickly disposes of the 07. Another car on the move, the 18. Kevin Douglas working outside Joey Dwyron. Douglas actually started in 5th. He's now dropping back out of the top 5. Everyone trying to settle into that good green flag groove. All chasing the 41 of Logan Melcher. Then it's Nick Calvert and Kevin Douglas challenging for 4th, side by side out of 4th. Kevin Douglas, the man on the move on the top side, and he does
does it. Out of turn 3, Kevin Douglas puts the 18 up to 4th. Nick Calvert will make up your top 5. And then they're side by side for 6th and 7th. Mike Hopkins in the 15, Joey Dwyron in the 7. Hopkins takes the spot away for 6th. Joey Dwyron settles into single file for 7th. Hopkins takes 6th. Joey Dwyron takes 7th. Joey Pohl in 8th. Dave Farrington 9th. And Trevor Sanborn up into the top 10. Car number 44.
First 13 laps in the books. Logan Melcher will make it 14 complete this time by the line. Kelly Moore still about a second behind. Terrace has settled into 3rd. Again, everyone finding their legs, but Melcher is already a straightaway behind the last place car of Andy Gilbert right now. 15 complete. Kelly Moore starting to close in now on the race leader. Logan Melcher is now within a half a second. I want to thank everyone watching on Racing America today. Logan Melcher setting a pretty blistering pace in the early going. Melcher still turning laps down around 15 seconds. The bulk of the field is nearly a half a track behind Melcher already. Logan now has to start sizing up the lap cars up ahead of him as they'll complete lap 20 this time by. Again, apologize for some scoreboard problems. Dave Sturgis already working that passing flag. Melcher will work around the outside of Andy Gilbert. Put the 17 car a lap down already. By the 7 of Nick Reno. Reno having trouble holding off Andy Gilbert in the back of the field. Kevin Douglas all alone in 4th. Mike Hopkins has settled it into 5th now. Nick Calvert has shuffled from the pole back to 6th. Joey Pohl is now in 7th with the 23 of Dave Farrington 8th. Trevor Sanborn 9th and Joey Dwyron 10th. The conveyor belt is cranking now as we've got race cars all the way around this 3/8 mile oval. Melcher with a little free racetrack up ahead of him. And the next car in his sights is the 21 of Shane Clark. Melcher has got a lot of cars up ahead of him now that he can start picking off. If he can put up laps down in the early going, that'll set the table for a good second half of the race for a few guys.
Yeah, those first few cars were relatively easy. And they're a little bit single file for the next 5 of them, but it's going to start getting deep here for Logan Melcher. He puts Shane Clark down a lap. And there is no lucky dog in today's Boss Hogg 150. You go down a lap, and you're going to be fighting the rest of the race to try to get it back. There is no lucky dog when we have cautions. Steven Chicoine in the 01 is next in line. That is 26. Make that 28. Steven Chicoine is in 28th position. And Logan Melcher looking to the top side to put him a lap down. Kelly Moore chasing and following his every move. Austin Terrace in 29, keeping them honest in third. Then it goes back a straightaway to Kevin Douglas for fourth, with Mike Hopkins attempting to close in. Logan Melcher takes care of Steven Chicoine. And now Ryan Littlefield in the 29. Next up is Jet Decker. Logan Melcher putting on a clinic in the early running. 25 laps in. Take that 35. This time at the line, 35 laps complete for Logan Melcher. 35 laps complete, 115 to go. Melcher and Kelly Moore pulling away from Austin Terrace. It's a two-car show here for the first 35 or 36 laps. Yeah, now they're double file in front of Logan Melcher. He got through the easy cars that were single file. You've got Matty Beers and Nick Jenkins racing side by side as Jenkins starts to pull up and clears Matty Beers. So Logan Melcher takes care of the 11 quite easily and gives chase to the 32. Kelly Moore is closing in. Kelly Moore was the fastest time trialer. He got the fast time trialer award, but then had the redraw put him in fourth for the start of this race. The top 10 redraw, and he blew out cigar number 4. Logan Melcher puts Nick Jenkins down a lap, and next up is Jeremy Davis in the 09. Melcher a little high out of two with a bobble and getting over the lip, picking up some dust. He gathers it back up, and they're almost 3 wide in front of him. Jeremy Davis is by himself. Oh man, they've got a scramble right in front of the leader. 3 wide again, and there is an accident. It's gonna take out your leader, folks. Logan Melcher up in the wall, 3 wide racing right in front of the leader. You have got to be kidding me. Stuff like this already, only 40 laps into the show.
Yeah, desperation time for some drivers, and you started to see it come unraveled. And unfortunately, your race leader ends up on the wall. Steven Chicoine up there as well, the first Pro Bodyworks cleanup of the race.
Nick Reno in the 7, the last place car, was about to go 2 laps down. Cars were splitting him 3 wide as Nick Reno was a sitting duck in the 7, forcing cars to go 3 wide right in front of the leaders, and that is where everything started to unravel. Nick Reno heads down pit road, as well as Nick Hinckley, Ryan Kuhn, JT Thurlow on the hot pits. Jet Decker, Ryan Littlefield, Shane Clark. Looks like Jeremy Davis managed to stay on the lead lap. He'll be the last car on the lead lap. Nick Jenkins is the first car, 1 lap down.
As I mentioned as this race got started, this is just a 4-tire race. The only way the drivers can change a tire is if they cut one down during the race. So all these drivers pitting for adjustments and repairs. Again, 40 laps complete.
Jeremy Davis in 23rd position. Last car, he's going to actually be 22nd after they clear Logan Melcher out of there. So 22 cars on the lead lap and 10 cars 1 lap down.
Yeah, Kelly wasn't too far behind Logan, so really no reprieve for anybody other than Jeremy Davis. Logan Melcher always happy to put on a show, but not the way he wanted it to go. But boy, was he setting a torrid pace early in this one, trying to knock as many cars down a lap as he could, and had already picked off 10 of them.
Yeah, Ken, again, as you mentioned in the driver's meeting, there is no lucky dog here, and I think seemed like Logan Melcher wanted to capitalize on that and put as many cars a lap down, because that'll make an uphill battle for them the rest of the race.
So as you said, everybody moves up. Kelly Moore, the fast qualifier, is back up at the point for this restart. They've got the 41 on the hook. Everyone else was able to drive away, and looks like the pit stops are pretty well done. Nick Reno looks like to be the only one left on pit road. Actually, Jeremy Davis is still there as well. Absolute heartbreak for Logan Melcher. I think he's there in the car. I know he'd appreciate a round of applause from you guys as he heads by the grandstands. There he is. Yeah, he's still in the car.
Front row for this restart with 110 laps to go. JT Thurlow rejoins the back of the field. He headed down pit road twice there, so they seem to be wrenching awfully hard on that number 9, taking 2 trips during that caution. We're looking for the green flag this time. We're back racing with Kelly Moore and Austin Terrace. Right off the bat, a slam out of turn 4. Kelly Moore rides up a little bit to make it difficult for Austin Terrace. Kelly Moore clears. Mike Hopkins is up to 3rd. Kevin Douglas back to 4th. Joey Pole in the 97 makes up your top 5. Kelly Moore is pulling away. Steven Chicoine is going to drop out of the show. Kelly Moore checking out from Austin Terrace. Single file for the first 7. Dave Farrington in 6th. Trevor Sanborn 7th. Dwyron has broken free from the double wide action. Joey Dwyron is in 8th. Garrett Hall breaks free. He's 9th. Nick Calvert makes up your top 10. Then it's side by side with Garrett Lamb and Jamie Wright.
One guy that's kind of quietly marching his way to the front, at least up to the front half of the back. Oh, we got cars up in turn 1. We've got the 07 of Nick Calvert, the 84 Jamie Wright, and the 40 of Dan McCaig.
McCaig Jr. certainly has not had a very good couple of weeks in the Pro Stock. Not just today, but the last regular feature night for the Pro Stocks was quite eventful as well. Him and your leader, Kelly Moore, came together in practice. It actually ended Kelly Moore's day completely. Dan McKeag had a lot of cosmetic damage, and they went to town thrashing on it to get him back out there to race.
See, since we're talking about Kelly Moore, got to give a shout out to Ryan Moore. He made the trip up with his car from North Carolina and unfortunately lost the motor in second practice. So tough break for him. Dad's going to try to get it done today for the Moore family.
Just like he said in pre-race interviews, Ken, he said, well, I guess it's all up to me now. Top 20 are on the lead lap. JT Thurlow is in 20th, the last car on the lead lap.
Dave Sturgis ready to turn him loose. Bit of a slow pace. They want to go early. Trouble for Silas Ripley. Something breaking in the suspension. And Silas will have to head back for the pits. In the meantime, Kelly Moore back in charge. Terrace settles it into second. Hopkins third. He's in striking distance as usual. Mike Hopkins trying to go 7 years in a row, finishing on the podium with the Boss Hogg. Kevin Douglas has fourth, but he's being pressured by Joey Pohl. Terrace right to the back bumper. That pair starting to pull away a little bit from the third place car of Mike Hopkins. They'll complete lap 50 this time by the stripe. 50 down, 100 to go. Single file back to the 17 of Eddie McDonald, 38 that is, the 38 of Garrett Lamb. Much like he did in the Oxford 250, spent a lot of time up in the top groove and liking that out there again tonight as Lamb races in 10th right now. Garrett Lamb started this race in 17th and he's raced his way up to 10th. Here comes Terrace on the outside. Austin Terrace has had some success up in that outside lane, and he's going toe-to-toe with Kelly Moore. Austin Terrace will grab the lead this time by. Just 3/100ths of a second the lead for the number 29.
Yeah, Ken, there is a halfway bonus up for grabs coming up in about 20 laps.
Yeah, $1,000 on the table for the halfway leader. Compliments of Short Hills Campground and Eddie Ready Construction put Austin Terrace into the lead. Now, Jay told me this was the car that Kyle Busch ran up at the big race up at Oxford back in July. And that car performing quite well here tonight at Wiscasset Speedway. So now it's Terrace, Moore, and Hopkins. Douglas and Polwarczyk, your top five. Trevor Sanborn still within striking distance. Sanborn in the 44. He holds down 6th. Garrett Hall 7th. Dave Farrington 8th. Joey Dwyer in 9th, and Josh St. Clair in the top 10. Eddie McDonald continuing to pick his way toward the front. McDonald now up to 12th. We'll make it 60 laps complete this time by the stripe, 60 down. Kelly Moore really putting the pressure on the young man of the 29. The The 7 of Nick Reno heading back for the pits once again. Nick Calvert is there making fixes on the 07. Calvert started at the pole position for this race. Kelly Moore now working the outside of Terrace. Put Kelly Moore in the lead by just 16 1/1000ths at the line. The 47 car liking the outside groove now. Put him into the lead. He'll complete the pass into turn 1. Never count out Mike Hopkins in that 15. He is probably the best at saving his stuff for the second half of the race. Just keep the leaders within sight and save your stuff, and he's doing just that. As we still have 23 cars still on the track. Kelly Moore still turning 15.3 last time by. Couple car length cushion now on Austin Terrace. Dave Farrington able to get by Joey Dwyron. Farrington in the 23. Takes over 8th, Joey Dwyron 9th. They've been going back and forth at it for a while. There's one for the BFP boys. 69 laps complete now as they cross the stripe. Dave Sturgis continuing to work that passing flag. Terrace looking to the outside once again. Sees an opportunity maybe to set a pick on the 17 of Gilbert.
We've got a race within a race. They are racing to the halfway point with 5 to go till halfway. Make it 4 to go at the line to pick up a $1,000 bonus. Coming right up, Andy Gilbert and Evan Beaulieu up ahead as the leaders are separated by 1 car length. Kelly Moore pulls it up on the high side of Andy Gilbert. 2 to go till halfway. The lappers go back side by side. Just when you thought Evan Beaulieu was clear, they go back side by side right in front of the leaders. Andy Gilbert and Evan Beaulieu right up ahead. 1 to go till halfway. $1,000 bonus up for grabs. You can tell they really want it, folks. 3 wide around Evan Beaulieu. $1,000 is going to go to Kelly Moore from Davis Erector Group. $1,300 already in Kelly Moore's pocket as he won $300 for being the fastest time trial. 300 to the fastest time trial are brought to you by Epoxy Floors North for Kelly Moore this evening. Now they are working on Shane Clark in the 21 to go down another lap. They're going to do it nice and easy. It got pretty heated there for a moment with Andy Gilbert and Evan Beaulieu side by side, but it is pretty uneventful up ahead. Single file and spread out. Kelly Moore works on Jet Decker now. Austin Terrace tracing his every move, and the 15 is closing in. As Ken mentioned, he is a professional at saving his equipment, but looks like he is picking it up just a tiny notch to make sure that the top 2 don't get out of sight. Kevin Douglas right now has nothing for the top 3. the local regular hot shoe in the 18. The defending points champion from last year. Usually on top on a weekly basis. He is representing the regulars now as the highest regular at the moment. Actually, you know what? Kelly Moore has been joining us this year for the first time on a weekly basis. We saw a couple random visits. Oh, we got trouble for JT Thurlow. He takes a hard right, almost goes into the wall, but he keeps it off and stops it. We've got caution number 3 out now for JT Thurlow. Something broke in the suspension for the 9. There was sparks flying, and he comes to a halt at the top of turn 4. 15th of Ryan Kuhn is the last car on the lead lap. Only 15 cars on the lead lap.
Josh St. Clair's pitted for the 14 car. He heads back out. The AC Towing boys have been busy today. They'll get the 9 car up on the hook, and tough break for JT to end the night. Been a kind of a, yeah, we've had a couple of wrecks, couple of cars wrecked, but more of a battle of attrition. Just waiting there under the direction of Nate Sennett to rejoin at the tail end of the field. Tough break for JT as he goes off on the hook. I had thrown out some little bit of trivia. I always like to do that. This race actually originated back in 1991 with Dave St. Clair when he purchased Wiscasset Raceway at the time. Tracy Gordon was the winner of the first Boss Hogg 100 back in 1991. The guy who won it the second year was Maine Hall of Famer and Wiscasset Hall of Famer Kenny Wright. Stan Meserves won the race a couple of times. Jim McCallum won it back in 93. Race disappeared for a little while, but the Jordans brought it back in 2013.
Trouble for Joey Dwyron. He's off the pace and quickly pulls out of line. Nice job by him to not have everybody bunch up behind him and cause an accident.
Joey able to drive away, but not sure if that car is going to be able to continue. Field crossing up for another try. Again, apologies on the scoreboard situation. Some technical difficulties tonight. They're trying to cycle it through to get it back on, but we'll try to keep you updated best we can, or you can obviously, we got people watching on Race Monitor or Speed Hive. Not the way Joey Dwyron wanted to make his return to Wiscasset Speedway. He goes off on the hook.
All right, ready to try it again with the front 2 rows flip-flopped. A pair of Boss Hogg 150 winners on the front row now. Mike Hopkins and Kevin Douglas gonna bring them to green here. 69 laps to go. There you go, BFP guys. Mike Hopkins quickly disposes of Kevin Douglas. Douglas pulls down in line before Kelly Moore can get in there. Oh, Kelly Moore is tapping him on the rear. Evidently, Kelly Moore thought it was too close for comfort, thought he had a nose in there, and shakes up Kevin Douglas just a bit, but he's gonna be nice guy and ease up just a smidge. Austin Terrace makes it look easy on the high side. Austin Terrace is now going to give chase to Mike Hopkins. Kevin Douglas has nothing for the top 2. Probably has not much for Kelly Morris. He is all over the back bumper. This time, Kelly Moore taps him enough times to get Kevin Douglas to pull out of line. And Kelly Moore is going to pass him on the bottom for the top 3. nice guy out of 4. He comes up on Kevin and really shakes him up, losing Kevin Douglas's momentum, and he loses a couple more spots. Garrett Hall and Trevor Sanborn get by. Kevin Douglas will not be too happy about that one. He might be able to try to find a hole. Oh, we got more trouble. Evan Beaulieu goes up in sparks and keeps it off the wall by a slim margin. Heading into pretty much the only outside patch of grass that we have with the track and pit entrance divider. Nice job by Evan Beaulieu from not going into the wall.
Yeah, and he's able to limp it down pit road, save us a little bit of cleanup time. Thank you, Evan. Although I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make that corner down all the way into the pit, but it looks like he's clear of pit road, but they'll have to work on getting him down there.
The track was clear, but pit road was not clear. They're looking pretty good now and doubling them up. Lights are out on the pace car. .64 laps to go. Mike Hopkins and Austin Terrace. A new front row. And it doesn't get any more even than that. Nice clean restart for Mike Hopkins and Austin Terrace. Still door handle to door handle as Terrace is putting up a good fight on the top side. Oh man, nice drive by Austin Terrace, utilizing that built motor. He has got some muscle underneath the 29, and Austin Terrace is back in command. Trying to clear Hopkins to get to the bottom. He does so into turn 1. 62 laps to go, and Terrace is clear and back on the bottom. Kelly Moore still holds down third, not losing any ground from the restart.
Not too often you'll see a car drive around Mike Hopkins to take the lead in a big race like this. But Austin Terrace has proven, as Nick said, got muscle under that hood, and not to be denied, Kelly Moore gets a fender underneath. Kelly Moore with a little bit of a fender underneath Mike Hopkins, but can't get all the way under. .91 complete, will make it 92 this time by the line. Austin Terrace has won a couple four-cylinder pro races in his career here at Wiscasset, but never a super late model or pro stock race. He's had some pretty big wins up the road at Oxford Plains Speedway, but would love to add Wiscasset to his resume. Mike Hopkins able to hold off Kelly Moore. Mike might be liking that grip he's finding up on the outside. Garrett Hall is all alone in the fourth position. They're being chased by Trevor Sanborn in fifth. Angelo Belcito starting to come to life in that number 8 car. We haven't called his number yet in this race. Belcito racing door to door with Kevin Douglas. That is for 6th and 7th. Everybody's settled in now, and Terrace walking away a little bit. He's up to 0.8 of a second lead. 14 cars in the lead lap. Garrett Lamb, the 38 car, your last lead lap machine. As they get strung out here and start to stretch it around this racetrack. 100 laps complete. 50 laps to go. First 100 down, 50 to go. We'll make it 101 complete this time by the stripe. Kelly Moore reloading for another shot at that number 15 of Mike Hopkins. Mike's been able to make his car work no matter where, except the slipping in turn one that time. Nearly gave that spot over to Kelly Moore. And as they race side by side, Terrace continues to stretch out his lead to 1.2 seconds. Again, pulls inside. Gonna run Hopkins up high coming out of the turn. And take over second. And now try to chase down Austin Terrace. Laps winding down and Kelly Moore trying to get back up to challenge Terrace for the lead. Jet Decker, the next car up ahead in the 0-1, but Decker is already a few laps down. Jet now 7 laps down. The passing flag displayed for the 0-1. Mike Hopkins actually starting to fade back a little bit and nearly into the clutches of the 94 of Garrett Hall. A little bit further back in the field, Dave Farrington and Ryan Kuhn have been racing it out for 12th and 13th. They've been locked in a side-by-side battle for much of the race. Garrett Lamb in that mix as well as the last 3 cars on the lead lap. And Austin Terrace now within a straightaway. They work their way around Decker, and as we expected, as we suspected, Garrett Hall is now there to put the pressure on Mike Hopkins for third. Hopkins trying to keep his podium streak in the Boss Hogg going already 6 years, trying to get 7 straight years on the podium. Back up on the wheel, pulls back away a car length on Garrett Hall. Kelly Moore has been able to eat into that lead for Austin Terrace. Moore's got that lead down to nearly half a second. It was up to 1.2 seconds at one point. Nick Jenkins, problem on the 32 as he's off the pace at the top of turn 3. Something broken on the 32 of Nick Jenkins. As I said, this has turned into a battle of attrition. Couple of wrecks early, but a lot of cars breaking down in this one. Jenkins The next victim in the 32 stops up at the top of turn 3 with 116 laps complete. Yeah, flat right front tire for Jenkins. Gonna call it a night and bring it down to the lower pit. Dave Farrington will drive away. He gave up the 12th position to pit.
Just a few laps ago, we saw Kelly Moore finish the pass on Mike Hopkins. You could tell he had enough of racing side by side with Hopkins. He was letting Austin Terrace pull away. Two cars racing side by side does not go as fast as one car by themselves, utilizing the track how they please. So Kelly Moore used up Hopkins to take care of that situation. Gave chase to Austin Terrace. We are back green and Terrace wastes no time. Hopkins is back to the inside of Kelly Moore. We will see if he will return the favor that Kelly Moore just executed on him moments ago. Might not even have a chance. Kelly Moore is certainly a faster piece than Hopkins at this moment, and he is pulling away. He clears and gets to the bottom. Hopkins drifts up to the top. He's gonna, looks like, experiment with the top side right now and see if there's some traction up there. There's 32 laps to go, and you might have to make some passes up at the top. Hopkins is gonna take this time to see if the second group works better for him. Garrett Hall unable to keep it up tight with the third place car. Garrett Hall looks to be in defense mode right now, filling up the rearview mirror. Oh, there's contact. It looked like real briefly on the backstretch with him and Kevin Douglas. Looked like Garrett Hall came up a bit. They continue to look like they want to go 3 wide around Garrett Hall. Trevor Sanborn, Kevin Douglas, still side by side on the back bumper. Kevin Douglas drifted back there for a minute, but he hits the reset button, and now he's got a good slingshot down the backstretch. To the top side of Garrett Hall, he'll try it again. Back to the front, Austin Terrace is moving up to the second groove. Evidently, these guys are finding traction up there. Austin is choosing to stay in the second groove. We got a yellow. There's a spin, Angelo Belcito to the infield of turn 3. Don't quote me on it, but I think it's caution number 7.
Yeah, Belcito had been running in the 14th position and had got to verify whether he was on the lead lap or not, but he will get it in the right direction and take the tail end of the field. Yeah, Belcito was on the lead lap at the time, so he'll restart at the tail and still remain as the last car in the lead lap. That's in 14th position.
We have got less than a Saturday night short track feature to go. 26 laps left. And Terrace and Kelly Moore had to go back a row a few restarts ago, but they found their way back to the top now. Austin Terrace rides up out of turn 2, using up Kelly Moore. Moore pulls it in single file. And Austin Terrace back in his comfort zone. He seems to like the second groove right now as the laps wind down. Hopkins is in trouble. Gets way high on the backstretch, and Garrett Hall is there. Nick Hinckley gets kicked out of line for about the top 10 and finds his way back alongside Eddie McDonald there. The leaders are racing in the second groove, something we don't usually see at Wiscasset Speedway. Austin Terrace likes it up there. Kelly Moore closes back in. A two-car breakaway. This has been all the Austin Terrace and Kelly Moore show for the second half. Mike Hopkins holding down third with some heavy pressure from Garrett Hall in the 94, looking to check this event off of his bucket list. So many disappointments and upsets in the Boss Hogg race for Garrett Hall in the 94. Kevin Douglas trying to hold off Trevor Sanborn for fifth. Trevor Sanborn pulls it up alongside Kevin Douglas, but Douglas gets a nice slingshot out of two and re-clears for the top five. All by himself with a bird's eye view of that fifth place battle is the 97 Joey Pohl. Then they are side by side for 7th and 8th. Josh St. Clair and Eddie McDonald. Make that 8th and 9th. Josh St. Clair, Eddie McDonald, and Nick Hinckley makes up your top 10.
Yeah, I think Josh has got a broken hood pin on that. Actually, the nose kind of stove up just a little bit on the 14 of Josh St. Clair. That can't be helping him, but he's still able to drive around Eddie McDonald and into the 8th position. As Nick said, it has been a two-car race for much of this one. A little bit of other cars mixed in, but it's been the Austin Terrace and Kelly Moore show. Don't give up on that third place battle yet either. Mike Hopkins has found a little solace up there in the second groove. Garrett Hall has been able to make a run at him a few times, but was never able to get all the way up to the inside of the 15 car. And now Kevin Douglas in the 18 car holds down the top five. All these cars still running in the 15.6 range. About a half second slower than they were at the beginning of the race. This time by 10 laps to go. 10 to go for Austin Terrace and Kelly Moore. As I said, Austin Terrace has got himself a couple of four-cylinder pro wins, but never a big one here at Wiscasset Speedway. But this has been a breakthrough season for this young driver. He's picked up a few big wins on the Pro All-Star Series and up at Oxford Plains Speedway. They worked their way by the 01 of Jet Decker. And Terrace has stretched that lead out now to over half a second. Kelly Moore's all clear as Mike Hopkins is a second and a half behind him. Five to go this time by. 5 laps to go on Austin Terrace. That lead is up to a full second. Just a tick under a full second over Kelly Moore. No pressure behind that number 29. Popsicle sticks are in the air. 2 laps to go now for Austin Terrace. That lead remains just a tick under a second. White Laundry flies, 1 lap to go. Final time down out of turn 3 and 4. Checkered flag ready to fly. Austin Terrace will win the Boss Hogg 150. Austin Terrace left no doubt it was going to come down to him or Kelly Moore, and when the pay window opened, Terrace disposed of Moore as well and runs to the victory, his biggest here at Wiscasset Speedway. It's been a long time since Jay Cushman has had a win here at Maine's fastest track, but it comes tonight. Kelly Moore, great run in second. He pressured Terrace the whole race. Mike Hopkins will continue his top 3 streak in the Boss Hogg 150. Now 7 straight years he's finished on the podium of this race. Garrett Hall, great run for the 94. Hall finishing in 4th. Kevin Douglas in the number 18 fills out the top 5. And Austin Terrace will burn it down right here on the front stretch. He will bring it into Coastal Auto Parts Victory Lane and a triumphant win for the Cushman competition, number 29. And we will go trackside with Nick Huff. I think this trophy's taller than Austin.
Yeah, usually they come to Victory Lane a little slower than that, but Austin Terrace is super excited, didn't want to waste any time coming here, kicked up all kinds of dirt with the nose dragging in the grass a little. This kid is pumped. $15,000 richer for Cushman competition in Austin Terrace. Make some noise, folks. Your 2024 Boss Hogg 150 winner. Yeah, buddy, Austin Terrace. Man, oh man. Looked like the racing line started to move up. You like that second groove at the end of it?
Oh, yeah. The goop on the top groove and the big motor, we got to use more power up there. And I was so tight on the bottom, I just couldn't wrap. And we got up top and past Kelly, past Mike, past Kevin, and figured we just wanted to stay up there.
You let Kelly get relatively close there, but it seemed like with 10 to go, you kicked it up a notch. Was that a tire-saving thing to let him get close and then 10 laps to go, give it all you got?
Yeah, I mean, you never know when a caution is going to come out at the very end, and you want to have enough right front to make it work. And we did that and fired off hard at the end just to see what we could do, and now we're here.
Who do you got to thank, Austin, for this win? I mean, this car sounds so cool. That's been the talk of the pits and talk of the grandstands all day. I'm sure you've got a stout piece under the hood that you want to thank.
Yeah, Brad Watson builds this mean, fire-breathing 9-to-1 that has to weigh 75 pounds more than everybody else, but we get it around just as fast, and can't do it without my Uncle Wayne here, GTO Red Door, Dennis Spencer, Cushman Competition. There's so many people. Derek McConnell with On the Level. Everybody, Brandon Ernest, my whole crew. I have so many people here helping. I love them right to death, and I couldn't do it without them.
All right, Austin, $15,000 richer. How's it feel?
Oh, we'll spend that pretty fast.
Moving on to second place, Kelly Moore. Oh, man, Kelly, you gave it all you had. I'm sure you weren't too pleased about the invert with the bad restart, and certainly had to make you work to get back up to Austin.
Yeah, that invert, that kind of hurt, but, you know, it's their game. We'll play under their rules. But, you know, the invert got us back there, but we got a little loose there and got a little free getting in. getting off the corner, and Austin was a tad bit better than we were, and we ran a good, clean race. Congratulations to Austin. But, it was a lot of fun. That car was in a heap last weekend, and we put it back together. These guys here deserve all the credit.
Who else you got to thank there, Kelly?
Yeah, I want to thank EFN. These guys stand behind me 110%. They sponsored the non-qualifiers race today, and without guys like that, we wouldn't be here.
All right, Kelly Moore, second place in the Boss Hogg 150. How's it feel? You got anything else you want to say?
No, I need some sleep right now. Haven't slept much in the last 5 or 6 days. So trying to get this thing back together was a lot of hard work.
Awesome run, awesome show. Kelly Moore, congratulations. 6 years, make it 7 years that Hot Rod Mike Hopkins is in the top 3. With about probably 50, 40 to go, we thought that you were letting them get out of sight, just saving your stuff. But Mike, yeah, they drove away from you. Just didn't quite have enough.
Yeah, I mean, when they were leading before they got jumped back a row, I was riding, but them 2 cars were the class of the field all day. We were lucky to even be here we've struggled all day, so we battled, never gave up. So we gave it all we had. But hey, it's awesome to come here and race in front of this great fans, and it never gets old to finish on the podium. Obviously, you want to win, but I can't thank Thayer's Racing Engines, Liberty Equipment, Stickett Custom Graphics, Port City Race Cars, GT Overhead Doors, Ted McLeod Water Wells, Nitro Trailers, and just all these guys that make it possible.
Mike Hopkins makes it 7 years in a row that he is in Boss Hogg victory lane. A 2-time winner, but comes home 3rd tonight. What a night it's been, Ken. That's going to wrap it up from Coastal Auto Parts victory lane for the 2024 edition of the Boss Hogg 150. We'll send it back up to you.
All right, thank you very much, Nick Huff. Congrats to our top 3 in victory lane, and a big congratulations to Austin Terrace and the entire Cushman competition team for a dominant win tonight in the 2024 Boss Hogg 150. Big thank you as well to the Thurlow family, John Thurlow Incorporated, Thurlow's Car and Truck Service, and their dedication to helping to put on this big show. Epoxy Floors North, Davis Erector Group, Shore Hills Campground, and N.A. Rennie Construction, all helping as support sponsors of today's race. All the official results will be up on the website, WiscassetSpeedway.com. Austin Terrace and his crew are getting a barbecue feed after this one, too. Compliments of Bingo's Barbecue. So want to make sure we get that in there as well. So as you folks are heading out, don't forget, we're back in action next Saturday night here at Wiscasset Speedway. The pit gate opens at 1, grandstands 3 o'clock for the season ticket holders, 4 o'clock general admission, and the green flag flies on all the action on Saturday night at 5 o'clock. So hope you can join us then, get a schedule, and join us for a few more races here as we wrap up the 2024 season. So once again, on behalf of Richard and Vanessa Jordan and the entire staff here at Wiscasset Speedway, have a great Labor Day weekend. Enjoy your day. We'll see you next time. Good night.